Hello and welcome or welcome back. Today's practice is a nice full body yin yoga practice. So we will be using a couple of props for this one. If you have a yoga blanket, a strap, and then just one block. So I'm sitting on a block right now back in a hero's pose. And if you don't have a strap, maybe a scarf or a tie will just work just fine. And then if you don't have a yoga blanket, feel free to grab a couple of large towels and that will work just as well. So let's get right to it. We're going to start back in this hero's pose. So if you have that block, go ahead and sit right on that block just to add a little bit of extra support. I'm placing that block just right underneath the sit bones. You can widen your knees if you would like or bring them closer. Just find a comfortable seat there. If you feel like you need to kind of wiggle down into your sit bones to get some of the wiggles out before we find some stillness, feel free to do that as well. Once you arrive in your seated position, take a moment to close your eyes or find a nice soft gaze in front of you. And take a moment just to notice your breath. Take a moment to notice that you're breathing. You're here on your mat. You can let the distractions of the world just go to the side and start to be present here in your practice. As you're noticing the breath, see if you can notice if the breath is getting caught anywhere in the body, the throat, the chest. And trying not to force the breath or change the breath, we're just simply noticing. Just taking some time to shift wherever you are in your day to being on your mat, drawing your attention inwards. And start to notice the little sensations that you might be feeling in your body. Now, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and seal the lips. And so you're taking an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. And now with this practice, the breath that we're going to be working with is called Brahmari breath or bee breath. So all it is we're sealing the lips on an inhale, taking that nice full deep inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, we're still sealing the lips, but we're humming on the exhale. A nice soft humming. You can feel the vibration in the chest. So let's give that a try. So relax the shoulders, release your exhale wherever you are in your breath. And then sealing the lips again, go ahead and take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And then exhale, you're humming. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Just go ahead and keep continuing to breathe just like that, inviting in your bee breath. And just keeping this a soft hum, something that's not forceful. And you can really lengthen out your exhale. So try not to force the inhale or force the exhale. Try to lengthen out your exhales. As you do that, see if you can let some of that tension release through the body. So maybe letting the shoulders be a little bit heavier, let your arms be heavy. So go ahead and take a few more rounds of that nice, gentle bee breath. And then whenever you're ready, you can float your eyes back open if they were closed, and then maybe roll the shoulders back a few times. Nothing particular here. Let's just loosen things up a little bit, but try to keep a nice easefulness in the body here. And now we're going to come off of our block. Place that block right towards the top of your mat there, and then just come to a tabletop position. It doesn't necessarily have to be wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, but go ahead and tuck your toes. And we're gonna come to a broken toe pose. So if you want to use your block as a little bit of support here for under the hands, you can. So broken toe pose, we want to tuck the toes under. Think about spreading the toes wide. So sometimes the pinky toe can get caught there. And then this one can be pretty juicy. So if you need to just have your hands placed right on that block as you start to lean back into your heels there. Now, maybe this is where you stay right here, or you can come upright, and that definitely adds more sensation there through the feet, through the toes. Now, we'll only be here for about a minute, so do come out of this if you need to at any time. Come back to your block or maybe your hands, but we'll be here for about a minute, so see if you can stay with it, find some stillness. Feel free to close down your eyes or find a soft gaze. And then let's come right back to the breath. So coming right back to that B breath, take a deep inhale through the nose. And a long, slow exhale, your B breath. So continue your B breath there if that's feeling good. Or maybe you just keep a nice, slow, steady breath. But do come back to your breath if your mind starts to wander away. And then slowly go ahead and come back to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. And then maybe just give the tops of the feet a nice little tap there. I like to counter broken toe pose with a nice ankle stretch. So keeping the toes untucked, start to lean back with your hands behind you. And then from here, you can start to pick up the knees and just feel a nice stretch down the top of the ankles there. And maybe just staying here for a few breaths. And then we'll go ahead and release from that. Go ahead and place that block towards the top of your mat, and then we'll grab onto our blanket here. So we're gonna sit right on the edge of our blanket. I like to just have the hips elevated here, and we're gonna come to a half butterfly. So start to extend the right leg out to your right side. Left foot goes to the inside of that right thigh. And again, just sitting right on the edge of a blanket. Hips are nice and lifted there. Now, before we start to fold over, we can add to this. So if you would like to join me, bringing your arms out by your side, we'll take a nice inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, turning towards that right leg. Take a nice forward fold here over that right leg. So your hands can just come down, and I like to have this option here just to kind of guide myself into this nice forward fold. And you can come up onto your fingertips if you have that block there, if it's accessible, maybe just placing it on your thigh, so you can do that as well. And then just trying to relax through that right foot, the right leg, all the way down to the right ankle, the right toes. And we're just forward folding over this right leg to any amount. So trying not to go to the edge of your range of motion, but allowing the body to invite you to go deeper. So if that means for you today, just starting more in an upright position, and then as your body slowly opens up, you can fold a little bit more. We want to be able to breathe comfortably here. So just some nice, slow, steady breaths. Take a moment to draw your attention back inwards and just notice where you're feeling a stretch. Maybe through the right hamstrings, or through the lower left side of that low back there. Maybe even the inside of the right thigh. So you might be feeling a stretch in multiple places, but again, just drawing your attention inwards and just noticing. There's no right or wrong answer here. And go ahead and take a few more deep breaths. And then on your next inhale, using your hands to slowly walk your hands back towards your body, coming to your upright position, plant your hands behind you. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees side to side here. So again, nothing particular. You don't need to coordinate this with your breath. It can just be whatever it wants to look like and however it wants to feel. So a few more times here, just nice windshield wipering side to side. And then whenever you're ready, let's come back to our seated position, and we'll extend the left leg out to the left side now. Right foot goes to the inside of that left thigh. Sit up nice and tall, and now take a moment just to kind of orient yourself in this position on this side. Maybe you're already noticing that this side feels different, and that's okay. But take a moment to get settled here. And then having your arms out to your side, let's take that nice gentle inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, turning towards your left leg and just finding that nice little fold. Just stopping where your hands want to meet your mat or your floor there. So I'm not physically forcing myself down into this fold. So on this side, I'm actually going to stay a little bit more upright. In my body, it feels better on this side to stay more upright. And then if my body wants to invite me to go a little bit deeper, then I will. So maybe going to about 60 to 70% of your full range of motion. And then maybe you just close down your eyes or again, soften your gaze. So you can really let that left leg be as heavy as you can be down to the left ankle, left toes. So no need to keep the left toes flexed. Just let the left toes just hang. And maybe use that block on top of that left thigh again. Place your head down on the block. So just figure out what your body needs here to be a little bit supported here. So I love to use props in a yin class so that way we don't go to our full range of motion there. We're kind of just easing the body into it in this passive way. Come back to your breath. See if you can keep a slow, steady breath. Just finding a nice cadence to your breath. Nothing forceful. And then we'll take a few more deep breaths here, really feeling the breath along the back side of the body. And then nice and slowly start to walk your hands back towards your body, come to that upright position. And then we're just going to windshield wiper the knees again, side to side. Couple deep breaths here, maybe while you do this. And again, just keeping the body nice and calm and at ease. So as we transition through these shapes and these poses, trying to keep a real, just sort of keeping the body as light as you can be and the mind as light. So it's normal to have the mind kind of wander about in a yin practice, but just seeing if you can come back to your practice using your breath. Maybe you mentally say inhale, mentally say exhale. So just know that your breath is a really great tool that you can use to come back to. All right, let's go ahead and release from that and then come off of your blanket. We'll place that blanket right towards the top of our mat. And then we're going to come onto our right hip. So come onto your right hip and your right forearm. So kind of think about coming onto your right hip here and just resting your body weight on that right forearm. And we're going to start to extend this left leg out towards the right. So kind of a little bit straight there. Maybe that right knee or left knee bends. See how that is there. And then the right knee is going to bend, and see if you can catch a hold of the right foot with your left hand. Now, if you can't, that strap is going to be great here to loop right around that right foot there and to catch a hold. So we're coming to this position, this shape called cat pulling its tail. It was really interesting. So once we find the position here that we want to stay in, see if you want to make any adjustments with this right arm. So maybe coming all the way down, placing your head in your right hand. And again, just we're going to find stillness here. So any amount that that left leg stretches out, maybe a left knee bends a little bit. So find a shape that you can stay in for at least a minute here. You have that blanket, you might even want to come all the way down, rest your head there. And then feel free to close down your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a moment just to feel that connection down the back of that left leg. From the hamstrings all the way down to the calves, the Achilles tendon. If it's not comfortable to keep a hold of that right foot with your left hand, and it didn't feel good with the strap either, you can definitely let go and just let that left arm just rest on your hip there. But if you can catch a hold, that could be a nice extra little stretch for that right quad, the top of the thigh there. Just coming back to some nice, easy breathing, slow, steady breaths. Maybe you start to lengthen out your exhales. As we find stillness, maybe finding a little bit of that quiet in the mind. Maybe there's a little less chatter in the mind. Take a few more breaths here. And then we're going to slowly release that right foot from our catch there. If you had a hold of that foot, slowly release. Start to straighten that right leg, bend that left knee, and then let's make our way onto our back just briefly here. So rolling onto your back, take a moment to hug the knees in towards the chest. Now with knees hugged in towards the chest, you might want to sway a little bit side to side perhaps. And take a few deep breaths here, swaying side to side, or maybe you're just holding stillness. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to make our way onto our left hip. So I'm just going to make my way to the back of my mat here so that way you can see me. And just coming onto our left hip, our left forearm here. And from here, we're going to start to extend that right leg out towards the side. And again, maybe that right knee bends a little bit. And then I'm going to come a little bit farther down, placing my head in my left hand so I can go ahead and bend my left knee there, catch a hold of my left foot. I'm noticing that this side does feel a little bit different. So you might be feeling some differences on your body as well. So just noticing those differences, maybe where you're feeling a stretch. So I'm definitely feeling more through my left quad now, especially after catching a hold of the left foot. Now, if it wasn't easy or easily accessible to catch a hold of your foot, you can use that strap. Take a few deep breaths though to let yourself settle into the shape. Maybe you want to lean all the way down onto that left arm or use your blanket. And drawing your attention back inwards. So even though we are actively reaching for, or maybe we do have a hold of that foot, but trying to keep that right arm as heavy as possible. Maybe using your exhales to let the body just sort of melt into this shape. You can close down your eyes, focus in on the sensations that you might be feeling, focus in on your breath. And from here, go ahead and take a few more deep breaths. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to slowly release from that foot if we have a hold of it, or even with the strap. Just slowly go ahead and release. Start to straighten out that left leg. Bend that right knee, and we're just going to come onto our back here. So moving nice and slow. There's no rush at all. So take a moment just to come onto your back. Maybe you hug the knees in, or maybe you just keep a constructive rest pose with feet planted, knees coming towards each other. Any position here that you can just take a moment to notice. Maybe find some stillness, or if you're hugging knees to chest, you might sway just gently side to side, nothing vigorous. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Long, slow exhale to release it. Then go ahead and plant your feet and then grab your block. So we will need our block here for this one. And then go ahead and come all the way onto your back again. Keep your feet planted about hips distance apart. Lift your hips to smooth out any clothing there. So we're going to set up for a bridge pose. More specifically, a supported bridge pose. We're going to use our block here. So set up your feet for supported bridge pose. Again, about hips distance apart. If you bring your arms down by your sides here and your fingertips can touch your heels, that's a good indication that your feet are at a nice placement there for bridge pose. So whenever you're ready, have your block. We're going to place it on the lowest height to begin. And then we'll lift our hips high, slide your block right underneath the sacrum. So not the low back, but the sacrum. We want to feel the low back just hammocking off of that support. I like to start off in the lowest setting just to get a good feel for how that feels in my body. And I think I might actually turn it to the medium setting there. So the medium height is feeling good in my body today, but some days it doesn't feel good on the medium height. So check it out for yourself there. Feel free to explore. And once you settle into your bridge pose, you can keep your feet bent or feet planted, knees bent, or sometimes it can feel nice to straighten out your legs. But depending on what height you have your block on, we don't want to get topsy-turvy on us. So I personally like to keep my feet planted on the mat here in supported bridge and just really feeling the low back hammocking off of that support. So take a moment just to let your body relax and melt into this shape. My palms are facing down, so I'm really just keeping that connection through my feet, palms of my hands towards the mat. Keep the shoulder blades relaxed. Softness through the jaw, the sides of the neck, all the way down to the chest and the belly. Nice deep inhale. Feel the belly expand. As you exhale, let your body soften, relax. Just taking a few deep breaths, just like that. Feel free to come back to your B breath at any time. And then from here, we'll take a few more deep breaths. On your next inhale, start to root down into the feet so you can lift your hips, slide the block out from underneath of you, and exhale, release the hips back down towards your mat. Take a moment just to stretch out your legs here and let the spine come back to a neutral position. Let your body get heavy and just take a moment to notice. And now from here, let's go ahead and bend our knees, plant our feet, and roll onto one side just so we can come up to get our strap here. So go ahead and grab your strap, and we're going to keep it to where it's this, I would say, maybe about this much of a gap there. So sorry, my words just kind of left my body there for a minute. So let's go ahead and come onto our back. Go ahead and keep your feet bent, or feet planted, knees bent. Hugging the right knee in towards the chest, and then just looping that strap right underneath of the sole of the right foot. Now here's where you can play with that placement there for your hands. So maybe now you need to widen your hands, let the strap have a little bit more slack there. Now, I like to just let my arms be heavy down here. So we want to really think about engaging through the right leg into that strap. And just letting the back of the body release into the mat. You can keep the left knee bent, or you can straighten out that left leg. I personally like to straighten out that left leg just to feel a little bit more through the front hip flexor there. And then from here, we're going to grab the strap with just the right hand. So both of the strap there, both ends of the strap. And go ahead and open up that right leg out towards the right. And now this left arm can just be heavy, or you can place it on your belly, or you can have it on the strap there if you need a little bit of extra support. But just try not to go to your full range of motion again. So really just enjoying the stretch, feeling the stretch maybe along the inside of the thighs, the adductors. And then we're going to bring that strap up back towards the center. And then go ahead and cross that right leg over the left. We're going to find a twist here. So keeping the strap handles in my left hand now. Maybe right arm reaches out to a T. You can even turn the neck so you're looking down that right arm. And just drawing your attention back inwards, noticing where you're feeling a stretch. Maybe along the outside of the right hip. Maybe down the hamstrings. Take this time for a few deep breaths. Let your exhales let you settle into the space, into the shape. And just noticing if you might be clenching around any of the muscles. So maybe if you're clenching around the hips or the glutes, or bracing through the thighs, maybe just let that go. Let any tension go. And then on your next inhale, we're gonna lift that right leg, draw it up towards the sky. And then hug both knees in towards the chest. So go ahead and remove your strap, hug both knees in, maybe a little sway side to side. And then go ahead and release both feet towards your mat again, and then grab that strap. We're going to loop it right underneath the sole of that left foot and start to extend the left leg towards the sky. And then just depending on your arm length there will depend on where you grab onto your strap. But do allow the shoulder blades to relax. So if that means grabbing the strap way down here, totally fine. Once you find that shape and the position that you want to stay in some stillness, start to straighten out through that right leg. Now I am keeping a little bit of a bend through that left knee though. So if that means that it looks like this to you, totally fine. Try not to straighten out through that left leg if it doesn't feel good. Especially if the hamstrings are just really tight and you're already feeling that pull and that tug. So we don't want to be forceful here. And just really let this be passive. Ease into it. Take a few deep breaths. Let your body settle. And then grabbing both ends of the strap with your left hand, opening out that left leg out to the left side. Nice and slow there. Maybe right hand comes onto the belly. Feel that openness to the left side of the leg. Those left adductors, the inner thighs. And just drawing your attention back inward. Come back to your breath. And then we'll go ahead and bring that left leg back up through center. Grab the strap with your right hand and then pull that left leg right across the right leg. Find your twist. Now left arm can come out to a T. Maybe you turn the head so you're looking down your left arm. And just enjoy the stretch here. So think about coming back to your body, releasing any tension, any holding on or gripping that you might be doing, and you might not even be realizing it. Couple of deep breaths, and let your body and mind settle. And go ahead and take a few more deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, just lifting that left leg back to center. Go ahead and bend both knees and remove the strap. We're going to hug both knees in towards the chest. And again, maybe it feels good to circle the ankles, sway a little side to side on the spine. You can circle the knees with your hands. And that can feel interesting on your low back, your sacrum area. And then go ahead and take a moment to release the feet down towards your mat. Keep your feet planted, but bring your knees together. So we're coming to a constructive rest pose. Hands on belly. Take a moment to relax the entire backside of the body. Relax your head. Smoothing out the muscles around the face. Relax your jaw. Your shoulder blades just resting against your mat. Let your shoulders be heavy and see if you can relax the front of the shoulders back. Feeling a little bit more of an openness through the front of the chest. Let your heart space be open. As you take your next inhale, See if you can imagine you're filling the belly like a balloon. You're pushing the abdomen into the hands. And then taking a nice long slow exhale. See if you can let the body be heavy. Let your mind be light. And then taking another deep inhale. And then a long slow exhale. And from here, feel free to bring the knees apart. Start to straighten out your legs. Let your arms come out by your side. Let your legs be heavy. Feet wider than your hips. Arms coming out to the side. Start to take up space. Now again, think about from here, letting the entire body be as heavy as it can be. Maybe you scan your body from crown of the head down to the toes. And just take a moment to see if you might still be holding on to some tension. Let that release here. Start to settle into a nice Shavasana. And as you settle in and relax, this is where I will leave you for the remainder of your Shavasana. So feel free to stay here for as long as you would like. Take up space, reflect on your practice, and tune into your breath. Until next time, Namaste.